Welcome to World Tour with Dee. There are places on Earth that defy human scale. Landscapes so massive and ancient that they make you realize just how small we truly are. Today we are looking at one of the crown jewels of the American West, Yosemite National Park. Tucked into the western slopes of the Sierra Nevada mountain range, Yosemite is famous for its towering waterfalls, ancient giant sequoias, and massive granite monoliths. But what you see on the surface is just the final chapter of a story that has been writing itself for hundreds of millions of years. In this episode, we are going deep. We will unpack the geological forces and the crushing rivers of ice that carved out these valleys. We will trace the rich and often turbulent human history from the valley's original stewards to the buffalo soldiers who protected it. We'll run through some rapid-fire fun facts, highlight the absolute must-see locations, and round it out with a few essential travel tips for anyone looking to make the journey. Let's dive into the story of Yosemite. Like, subscribe, and click the bell for more videos like this. Check out our Yosemite travel essentials such as hiking clothes, hiking boots, bug spray, reef-safe sunscreen, hiking backpacks, and GoPros. Links are in the description below. Part 1. Geography and Geology. Forged in fire, carved by ice. To understand Yosemite's geography, we have to rewind about 100 million years to a time when the west coast of North America looked vastly different. Back then, a massive oceanic plate called the Farallon Plate was colliding with the North American Plate. Because the oceanic plate was denser, it was forced underneath the continental plate, a process known as subduction. As it dove deep into the Earth's mantle, the immense heat and pressure caused the rock to melt, creating colossal plumes of magma. Some of this magma erupted to the surface as volcanoes, but the real magic happened deep underground. Massive chambers of magma cooled incredibly slowly beneath the surface, crystallizing over millions of years into a massive, contiguous block of igneous rock called the Sierra Nevada batholith. This is the very foundation of Yosemite, solid granite. Fast forward to about 10 million years ago, geologic forces caused this massive block of granite to tilt and uplift toward the west. This dramatic uplift increased the steepness of the terrain, causing ancient rivers, like the Merced River, to rush faster and carve deep, V-shaped canyons into the rock. But water alone didn't create Yosemite Valley we know today. That took ice. Around 2.5 million years ago, the Earth entered an ice age. Massive alpine glaciers formed in the high country and began slowly flowing down those pre-existing V-shaped river canyons. Imagine a river of solid ice, thousands of feet thick, filled with boulders and gravel, acting like a giant sheet of sandpaper. These glaciers bulldozed the canyons, widening them and scraping the walls vertically to create the iconic U-shaped valleys. The main glaciers were so massive that they cut much deeper than the smaller glaciers feeding into them from the sides. When the ice finally melted, those side canyons were left suspended high above the main valley floor. We call these hanging valleys, and they are the reason Yosemite has such incredibly high, dramatic waterfalls dropping straight off the cliffs. And those famous rounded domes, they weren't carved by glaciers. They were formed by a process called exfoliation. When the miles of rock that used to sit on top of the granite eroded away, the release of that immense weight and pressure caused the granite to expand outward. As it expanded, the outer layers fractured and peeled away like the skin of an onion, leaving behind the smooth, curved domes that define the park's skyline. Part 2. History, the Keepers of the Valley. The human history of Yosemite is just as complex and dramatic as its geology. For thousands of years, this area was home to indigenous peoples. The most well-known group in the valley were the Ahwahneechee, a band of the southern Sierra Miwok. They called this place Ahwahnee, meaning place of a gaping mouth. The Ahwahneechee weren't just living in the landscape, they actively managed it. They utilized control, intentional burns across the valley floor. This prevented the forest from overgrowing, maintained the open meadows, and promoted the growth of the black oak trees, whose acorns were a vital staple of their diet. This balance was shattered in 1849 with the California gold rush. Thousands of miners flooded the Sierra Nevada foothills, ravaging the environment and displacing indigenous populations. The resulting conflicts led to the Mariposa War. In 1851, the state-funded Mariposa Battalion entered the valley, violently forcing the Awa-Nichi out and marching them to reservations. It was members of this battalion who gave this park its current name, misunderstanding the native word for the local people. Word of the valley's staggering beauty spread quickly, and by the 1850s, the first tourists began to arrive. One of them was Galen Clark, who became deeply concerned by the commercial exploitation of the giant sequoias. Clark, along with other early conservationists, pushed the federal government to protect the land. In a landmark moment in 1864, right in the middle of the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln signed the Yosemite Grant. This gave control of Yosemite Valley and the Mariposa Grove to the state of California for public use and preservation. The first time the U.S. government protected land simply for its natural beauty. Decades later, the famous naturalist John Muir realized that protecting just the valley wasn't enough. The surrounding high country was being destroyed by excessive sheep grazing, which Muir famously called hoofed locusts. His tireless advocacy led to Congress establishing the larger Yosemite National Park in 1890. But before the National Park Service was created, who protected these millions of acres? From 1891 to 1913, the U.S. Army Cavalry took on the job. Among these early guardians were the Buffalo Soldiers, all African-American regiments who rode hundreds of miles through rugged backcountry. They extinguished wildfires, built trails, and chased out poachers, serving as some of the country's very first park rangers. Part 3. Rapid Fire Fun Facts. Let's switch gears. Here are some rapid fire fun facts about Yosemite. Number 1. Yosemite Falls is the highest waterfall in North America, dropping a staggering 2,425 feet from the top of the upper fall to the base of the lower fall. Number 2. For a few days in February, the settling sun hits Horsetail Fall at the exact right angle, illuminating the water so brilliantly it looks like a waterfall of flowing lava. This phenomenon is known as the Yosemite Firefall. Number 3. During the spring, under a bright full moon, the mist from Yosemite Falls creates a moonbow, a rare nighttime rainbow created by lunar light instead of sunlight. Number 4. At 750,000 acres, the park is roughly the size of the state of Rhode Island. Yet 95% of the millions of people who visit only ever see the 7 square miles of Yosemite Valley. Number 5. Yosemite is an elite proving ground for rock climbers. In 2017, Alex Hanold became the first person to free solo El Capitan, climbing the 3,000-foot vertical wall with absolutely no ropes or safety gear. Part 4. Things to see. When mapping out a visit, there are a few iconic locations that define the Yosemite experience. The first is Tunnel View, located just outside the Wawona Tunnel on State Highway 41. This viewpoint offers the classic sweeping panorama of the valley. From here you can see El Capitan standing like a fortress on the left, Bridal Veil Fall cascading on the right, and the distinct profile of Half Dome commanding the background. Next, you have to stand at the base of El Capitan. Looking straight up at 3,000 feet of sheer granite is an exercise in neck-craning awe. If you look closely at the wall, you can usually spot climbers looking no bigger than ants, spending days scaling the vertical rock face. To escape the valley floor, take the winding road up to Glacier Point. Perched 3,200 feet above the valley, it offers a dramatic bird's-eye perspective of Half Dome and the high country. Looking down at the valley from here makes the sheer scale of the ancient glaciers incredibly easy to visualize. Finally, take the time to visit at Mariposa Grove near the park's south entrance. Walking among these giant sequoias, some of which have been standing for over 2,000 years, is a deeply grounding, almost spiritual experience. Part 5, Travel Tips. To round out the episode, here are 3 essential travel tips to keep in mind. First, mind the reservations. Because the park is so popular, the National Park Service frequently utilizes a peak hours reservation system during the busy summer months and on weekends. Always check the official NPS website well in advance to secure an entry pass. Second, go car-free in the valley. Traffic can be a nightmare. The most efficient way to see the valley is to park your car once for the day and utilize the free Yosemite Valley shuttle system. It operates on a continuous loop and drops off right at the major trailheads and viewpoints. Third, respect the bear boxes. Yosemite is home to hundreds of black bears, and they have an unbelievable sense of smell. Whether you are packing basic trail snacks or you are bringing along fresh fish and meat for an evening cookout, absolutely every piece of food, trash, and scented toiletries must go into the metal bear-proof lockers located at the trailheads and parking lots. Never leave food in your vehicle. Yosemite National Park is a masterclass in the power of nature and time. From the tectonic collisions that forged its granite heart, to the glaciers that sculpted its face, to the people who fought to protect it, it is a place that demands our respect and repays it with pure wonder. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into Yosemite. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to World Tour with Dee, hit the like button, and let me know in the comments where we should explore next. Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring.